Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, Executive Editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with fabulous concert programs number 65, which is number 8 in our Dvořák Cycle. And we're up to the 8th Symphony. Oh, God, everybody loves this symphony. I mean, what do we have to say about it, right? I just wanted to find a program that would surround it with beauty and nature and glowing melodies and all of the things the symphony has that would make it comfortable in its environs. And so I started with a real rarity, but I think that this is one of my four-piece concerts where we have a sort of introductory piece and then a main work in both halves. I just love it that way. I don't understand why people don't program those things. You get an overture, then a concerto, then the symphony. It's so much more fun to toss in something else, especially if it's unusual and really, really appropriate. So we begin with Delius, Eventyr. I don't know why people don't love Eventyr. Eventyr is one of these legendary, once upon a time nature poem things. And it's gorgeous, and it's exciting, and it's evocative, and the orchestra gets to yell in the middle of it. They all go, hey! It's like really kind of interesting. It's scored for a big orchestra. It's not typical Delius in the sense that it doesn't just kind of lay there and do nothing. It actually has some really exciting climaxes and some stunning orchestral colors. And, oh gosh, I just think it's marvelous. I wish it were more popular and better known. Every time I've heard it, I listen to it and I go, what is it? Why don't we hear this thing more frequently? So I start off with Eventyr. I think it'll be a wonderful curtain raiser and a real eye-opener for people who don't know Delius well. So that's the opening. Next, the Barber Violin Concerto. Because the Barber Violin Concerto has this in common with the Dvořák, in which it's the composer's uninhibited melodic outpouring. I mean, Dvořák was always an uninhibited melodic outpouring, and Barber, of course, was sort of a neo-romantic, and his melodic outpourings were a little bit less frequent, but still fairly, he was a melodist. He was a vocal guy, and he loved songful tunes, and nothing has that better than the Violin Concerto, which is absolutely gloriously, beautifully gorgeous. And I think that it's a wonderful first half program. It's not terribly long. It's about 23 minutes or so. And it's just one gorgeous tune after another until you get to the finale, which is just a pulverizingly zippy toccata. The story of the Violin Concerto was well known. Barber wrote the first two movements, and the soloist that he wrote it for thought it was too easy. So Barber said, okay, I'm going to show you, you son of a bitch. And he wrote a finale that was practically unplayable. And that, made the concerto all the more appealing to today's virtuosi and horrifying to the person who commissioned it, which I think was very, very amusing. But it's a beautiful, beautiful work. And like the Dvořák, it's the composer at his most uninhibitedly ebullient melodic self. So then we have intermission, we toddle off, and we have our orangeade, and we cough and hack and take our free cough drop, and we toddle back in. And then Rautavaara. Rautavaara wrote beautiful, beautiful works and a lot of wonderful short pieces. And one of the most beautiful is the Isle of Bliss. This was it's a tone poem based on the legend of an island where birds go to die for their last tweet or cheep or whatever, or so he told me when we talked about it. I was actually there for the recording sessions of the Ondine performance, and it's lovely. Oh my God, it's just beautiful and wonderfully poetic. And like the Delius, it represents, and the Barber, it represents the composer just doing his thing amid nature. And that's something that you always hear in Dvořák, because in the 8th Symphony, you get birdsong, and you get, all kinds of wonderful tunes, and a gorgeous waltz in the third movement, and a jolly theme and variations in the finale. And the wonderful thing about the variations is that they don't want to vary, because they love the tune so much, so they don't really vary much at all. And it's exciting and it's fun, and that merry-go-round finale where it just speeds up and goes crazy is amazing. And that is, I think, just a fantastic way to capture the essence of Dvořák's Eighth in 4 works, all of which are quite different, all of which are in distinctive styles unique to their composers, but which surround the Eighth or introduce the Eighth with that wonderful, heartfelt lyricism and songfulness that I think this symphony celebrates more than almost any other. So there you have it, friends. Keep on listening. Take care.